Yo, what's up everybody? DFS dudes with DFSCheatSheet.com here to give you our wide receiver breakdown for the Thanksgiving slate. We've got 3 games, 6 teams, a lot of good wide receivers to take a look at. We will break it down here for you. But before we do, please, if you have not done so yet, click that subscribe button below. Make sure you don't miss out on any of the content we're producing for this channel. Enable the notification button. Drop a like for us on this video if you would do that as well. It really helps us out. Just a token of appreciation for the free content we're providing you and breaking down these slates each and every week for you. Let's hop into the picks. We will start off with the game that has the highest over-under on the board and go with Julio Jones at $8,800. Very productive as of late. Atlanta has its season on the line here. They cannot lose in New Orleans. Let's look at what Jones has done recently. 30 targets, 20 receptions, and 3 touchdowns in his last 3 games. In those last 3 games, 1 receiving touchdown in each of them. He's put up 100-plus receiving yards in 6 of his last 7 games and 20 FanDuel points in each of the last 3 games. 6 targets, 5 catches, and 96 yards in the first meeting against the Saints. Atlanta, like I said, their season is on the line. Julio's got to stretch the field. They're going to need a couple of big plays out of this guy. We know he's a big target. He can move the chains as well on third down. But he opened the field up for Taylor Gabriel in this last one. We'll get to Gabriel a little bit later on in the video. Julio Jones at $8,800. I'm not sure if he's the clear-cut number 1 here, but he's a great tournament play. Let's stay in the same game. Michael Thomas. The Saints have the highest implied total on the board for this slate at 36.3. This game has the highest over-under, currently at 59.5. It keeps going up as the day goes on. 10 receptions on 10 targets in the first meeting for 129 yards. Atlanta's 32nd in total DVA, and they're 30th in DVOA against wide receiver number 1s. 27 targets, 24 receptions, 373 yards, and 4 touchdowns in his last 3 games. Just blowing everything up is what the Saints offense is doing. To me, Thomas is your clear-cut number 1 wide receiver in all formats, cash and tournaments on this Thanksgiving slate. Load him up, lock him in. Michael Thomas in a great spot where they get to eliminate the Atlanta Falcons basically with a win. Let's move on. The first game of the day brings us Kenny Golladay, who's clearly become the number 1 wide receiver in Detroit since Golden Tate departed via trade. On Thanksgiving, Detroit plays extremely well, or at least they have as of late. They're 4-1 in their last 5 Thanksgiving Day games. They play well on Turkey Day. The Detroit Lions do. Matthew Stafford broke Tony Romo's all-time passing yards record last year for most passing yards on Thanksgiving Day. They're going to have to throw in this one if they're going to stay in this game or at least try to keep it close. I anticipate they'll be trailing for the majority of it and playing catch-up. 27 targets in the last 2 weeks. That's good for 14 receptions, 191 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 13 targets, 6 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown 2 weeks ago in the first meeting. Kenny Golladay, very, very good tournament play here. He's going to have a ton of opportunity. We will stay in the exact same game and take a look at our next guy, which is Allen Robinson II. Detroit's 32nd in DVOA to wide receiver number 1. That's dead last. 15 targets, 9 receptions, 172 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks for Allen Robinson. 8 targets, 6 catches, 133 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the last meeting versus Detroit. Potential matchup against Darius Slay here. He's got a cornerback rating of 55.42. Chicago with the 2nd highest implied total on the slate behind the Saints. This is not a sexy pick, but to me this is a very good bread and butter pick. It's a staple pick for your tournament lineups. He can slide right into wide receiver number 2 spot. Can you get him in a build is there enough value to get him in there with a Julio Jones and Ezekiel Elliott and maybe a Drew Brees? Or do you pair him with Trubisky? I personally think you pair him with Trubisky. Trubisky should be good to go. We'll move on. The game that falls in the middle on this slate, the Dallas Cowboys and Washington Redskins. We'll go to Amari Cooper and break him down at 6,500. He dudded last week in an absolute favorable spot. We're going to go right back to the well here with Cooper. I love to go back to the well after a guy lets people down. Recency bias will diminish his ownership. People will stay away. They're going to look at him. Do I want to load him in my lineup? Oh, he let me down last week. I'll move on. Maybe I'll put an Allen Robertson in. I like Cooper. He's their number one wide receiver. They gave up a first-round draft pick for this guy. He's going to be a part of their game plan week in and week out. Dallas has the third highest implied total on the board at 24. Huge spot for them with the Washington Redskins now going with Colt McCoy. They've lost Alex Smith for the season. Dallas has a real good shot to hop in first place, control their own destiny. I look for Cooper to be a big part of this game plan. They can't just rely on Ezekiel Elliott all season long. I really like this spot for Cooper. Recency bias keeps his ownership low, in my opinion. Good spot. Other guys we're going to take a look at. Traquan Smith, he did not practice again today. He's got a little bit of a foot injury. I expect Traquan Smith to play in this one. Calvin Ridley also didn't practice today. We need to monitor both these guys' status. We know Ridley went nuts in the first meeting. 7 catches, 146 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That was his welcome to the NFL breakout moment. He was also eliminated with a thigh injury, not said to be very serious. Marvin Jones Jr., clearly the second option behind Golladay. Jones did get the 7 targets, 3 receptions for 55 yards 2 weeks ago against Chicago. I like Taylor Gabriel as my wide receiver number 3 in tournaments this week at 5,100. Very good option against a very bad Lions defense. You can also look to other guys. Mohamed Sanu, Cole Beasley, as we mentioned. Washington, not great against wide receiver number 3s. Michael Gallup starting to really emerge as a clear-cut number 2 wide receiver in Dallas. And then Josh Doxson, another guy I do like. If you have not done so, like I said before, please click that subscribe button. Make sure you don't miss any of the content we're producing every single day on this channel, breaking down the NBA slates, giving you our tournament core plays. We've got NFL videos, quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, and defense picks. So make sure you subscribe. Don't miss out on anything. Make sure you click the notification button as well. And please visit us if you have not done so at dfscheatsheet.com. All of the tools you need to beat the pros on a daily basis. Content, analytics, analysis, and optimization with our lineup generator. Hey guys, I'll be back later on with our running back picks and breakdown. Make sure you tune back in. We will see you later. Peace out.